Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV. I've got sorry to dump another video on you so soon after the last one, because the last one was a little bit alarming. But I want to get this one done now, because basically I'm going away soon. On Wednesday, I'm actually going away. I'm going to Lapis. I talked about the Lapis conference, which is next weekend, but I am actually going to go away Wednesday evening as well. I might make a video about that. I'm actually going to a possibly haunted hotel. I'll let you know. I'm thinking of maybe doing a written piece about that. But then I'm coming back on Thursday. Then I'm just going to be very briefly on Thursday evening, and then I'll be away. So there'll be no HPANWO show if you're on HPANWO radio, because I won't have time to do one. But I'm basically coming back Thursday evening, going to bed, getting up, and going to Lapis the next day. All right. So that's why I am. That's why I'm actually making this video now, because tomorrow I probably won't have time, because after work I'll just be getting prepared and everything. Okay, so I'm going to do this video. It's quite late at night, but I'm going to do it now and get it uploaded. All right. But so what this is about? Well, basically it's another watch party. I know I've already started. I've got a few of those rolling at the moment, haven't I? There's one read party and a watch party, just in kind of like well, it's just I think there's one read party, which is Voices of the Wilderness. And there's this. So I've got two going concurrently. But as you know, my read parties, I leave a little bit longer, a few months. Watch parties I'll do within the next few days. And this watch party is, of course, for the age of disclosure. Everyone's been talking about it, and it's finally here. Now, see, I mean, can I show you the trailer? Oh, but I mean... Oh, it's really annoying that, I'm so strongly targeted by copyright, because bloody, this is why I believe my channel is being targeted unfairly. It really, really is. It's being targeted unfairly, and it's being singled out for special treatment. It must be. This is why my viewing figures appear so low when they're not. I know I'm getting more viewing figures than you see on YouTube. I know that these various copyright infringements I commit are not repeated on other channels. Neil Peel has uploaded the same material that I have, and he doesn't get a copyright strike. I'm being singled out for special treatment. So I show you the trailer, I'll probably get a bloody copyright strike. I will, which is really annoying. But I mean, why? I mean, it's the idea that there will be a. I mean, if I get one, it'd be very easy to set it free. I'll just put in an appeal and just say it's fair use, which, come on, let's face it, a bloody trailer. The idea there'd be any kind of copyright issue with a movie trailer is crazy. But anyway, I think I don't see why I shouldn't just show it to you. I'll show it to you in the small pane, and then maybe that'll do the trick. Maybe if I just show you in the small pane, it won't get bloody spotted. I don't know. But the age of disclosure. Let's just have a look and see what we've got here. I'll show you it in the small pane. There's an official trailer. You can see I've already watched it. So I'll show it in the small pane there. All right, there you go. So the age of disclosure official trailer. There we go. So I'll pause it while doing.
Fancy new razor arriving today with Amazon Prime.
See the fair use thing. All right. So I won't just watch it. Can you see it all right there? I think I better expand it a little bit. I won't put it on full screen, but I'll put it on cinema. There you go. All right, so I will stop it at certain points and do some commentary as well. Just hopefully this will avoid any copyright issue. You can always go and look it up, but now this
the American people
honestly,
already.
The first 5 seconds of this, you could think, well, this could be a new Stephen Greer. I mean, Greer has made like a couple of movies while this one's been in production. And it says here, the age of disclosure. Official trailer 2025, and this is Andre Carson here opening up. Now he's appeared in many of these documentaries. I mean, when you watch this trailer, you'll see that there doesn't seem to be anything special about this film. I mean, let's play a bit more, but I'll say now straight away that this, from the trailer, you could well believe this is just another series of talking heads kind of UFO film. Which, let's face it, UFO Wood has produced a couple of dozen of these in the last few years. And they're kind of to a penny, aren't they? But this one is supposed to be special. Obviously, I've not seen it yet. Very few people have. But let's just see.
To receive the truth.
Well said, Andre. Yeah, I mean, some of these Congress people, it's good that the Congress are finally growing some balls. It really is. And there's the Calvine footage. And this is that one from Mexico, the thing dipping into the sea. And, of course, the ticket.
Humanity.
Tim Gallaudet. I don't know what that little clip was before him. That looks like some soldiers climbing out of a helicopter. I don't know if that's relevant. And of course, Admiral Tim Gallaudet, a meteorologist, oceanographer, and knows an awful lot about this sort of thing. He did a really good interview on Darcy Weir's documentary.
It's not the only intelligence in the universe. Humanity is not the only.
Eric Davis, he's interesting. He released this thing called the Wilson Memo. I've talked about that before on previous videos.
Intelligent species. We are.
No, that's true. Who's he?
Absolutely not alone. Non-human.
I've seen him before, and then of course what's his bloody name?
Intelligence exists.
UAPs are.
It's annoying when I recognize these people and I can't remember their damn names.
Real. They're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked.
Pal Puthoff, of course. The CIA guy you've just seen. He did an interview. I think it was Ross Coulthard. I can't remember his name.
On highly classified UAP program.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security.
The 4th Director of National Intelligence. That's the one that Tulsi Gabbard is doing now. And she's mentioned UFOs.
In the National Security Council.
A 1-star admiral after 32 years of service.
Gallaudet said a lot about this. He's a real stalwart in this business.
I come forward with this.
And of course, the one and only Tim Burchett. I love that guy.
I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to
and the one and only
a highly sensitive government program.
Apparently, he's the narrator of this.
That investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked
what's his name?
As a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
He's deputy of Lukatsky. What's his name? Kozlowski, sorry.
We learned that the U.S. government wasn't
James Lukatsky, someone different. He's connected to the Skinwalker Ranch.
Involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles.
That's the old Go Fast.
Not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes.
So you said reverse engineer things that are not made by humans. Again, we've heard this sort of thing before, and a lot of people have said this, and people said, "Well, it's stories, but we need to see more. We need to see evidence, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is it."
Non-human craft and non-human beings.
I mean, I want to mention Steven Spielberg in this because if you remember do you remember that? Remember Contact in the Desert? Ben in the Desert 2, my video Ben in the Desert 2, and I said that what's his name from MUFON? I keep saying what's his name? The guy who the MUFON film director? He was talking about how Steven Spielberg, because as you know, his as yet unnamed film has just wrapped, and it's due for release next year. And he said that it's possible. His name will come to me in a minute. He said it's possible that there will be a kind of fourth wall breaking moment in which some real UFO stuff will be shown, and then they'll say, "This is, by the way, all this is real," and that will kind of be the disclosure moment. In which case, it's interesting because Dan Farah knows Spielberg and work closely with him. I could probably find you the photo of them together. Dan Farah is the director of this movie.
There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be.
It looks fairly cliche from now on. It's talking heads interspersed with video footage and images of Washington D.C., just like James Fox put in his Phenomenon movie, just like Stephen Greer puts in his.
The leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of.
Oh, that's Bray, isn't it? Scott Bray. He was the guy at the AIM-SOG.
The UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't.
Who's that guy again? I don't know. I recognize him. I don't
consider using it to achieve
Putin and Xi Jinping. Yeah.
Their ends of domination.
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
I'm sure Biden didn't have a clue. He'd say, UFO is one of those.
Even presidents have been up.
How much does Trump knows? That's Marco Rubio. Now, he's Trump's Secretary of State. So this is a very high-level person to be in one of these movies.
Operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not
Marco Rubio is like really, yeah. I mean, if he is in this, Trump must know about it. Kirsten Gillibrand. So I didn't mean to make her look like she'd fallen asleep. Kirsten Gillibrand chaired one of these hearings, these House investigation and these Senate investigation things with old Sean Kirkpatrick before he was disappeared or before he left the.
Not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that.
How many of them got your balls, figuratively, not anatomically, but you know, Gillibrand has more balls than most of these Congress people, and I think it's, again, we'll talk about this in the review, but it does seem like the legislature, at least in this country, in the United States, is fighting back against the national security state.
Doesn't trust these people because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
There's old Mellon. Of course, he's still with TTSA. I think he didn't quit TTSA, did he, Chris Mellon? All the other principal people did, like Putoff, Elizondo. They all buggered off. But I think he hung on with TTSA, if I recall rightly.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
That's the point that Greer comes back to over and over again. You know, the energy issue.
We should have disclosure today.
Moskowitz. I like Moskowitz. He's the one who works closely with Anna Paulina Luna, who of course is his fellow Floridian, and they are often doing things together. Anna Paulina Luna, I think apart from Eric Burleson, Anna Paulina Luna is the basest congressperson of all. I mean, she's the one who's talking about Three Eye Atlas, and she's made friends with Avi Loeb.
We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
Yay.
What else you want to know?
Everything, Lou. I hope we hear it. Yeah, I hope we hear it. Produced by Dan Farrow, directed by Dan Farrow. Okay, now we'll go through the. Let's go through the. Let's get rid of that. Hang on. Just go back to my notes for a moment. I think we'll cut most of it's covered, but this has come, like I said, this seems to be quite cliche UFO wood 2020s. Is it going to be different? I mean, we need something different. We need a breakthrough. We need something that's more than what you expect it to be, what you think it's going to be by watching that trailer. I mean, people who have seen the film say it is more than that, and we need that. I mean, there's been a lot of setbacks lately, and there's all kinds of other problems like that. With other movies, and there's hearings that get cancelled. There's people getting skiff flu, and there's so many issues like that, which is disappointing, and it's frustrating for people like me who just want progress. You know what I mean? I mean, I accept what Ross Coulthart said. This is not entertainment for UFO Twitter. This is a serious business, and we're not here just to do things when you tell us. It's a process that happens. Some of it has to happen in private, and we are not obliged to keep UFO Twitter informed of what's going on. Anyway, we'll see what this is about. Anyway, I mean, like I said, I don't know much about this. I mean, so far it's had only one screening, and that was at the 2025 South by Southwest Film Festival. And it's had some private screenings as well, but the people who said it is different. People who've seen it say there's more to this than what they thought. But anyway, it just says here, like I said, I don't know much about this yet, but it's had mixed reviews from critics, and of course its premise has been rejected by science. But it says here the film's narrator and main character is, of course, Lou Elizondo, who alleges the existence of a secret government program that has investigated and concealed evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence for more than 80 years. It features a huge variety of people, interviews, including 34 former and present US government officials, who claim that the United States has been secretly working to capture UFOs since 1947. Former director of the US government UAP task force, Jay Stratton, that's him, that's the guy I couldn't think of, claims there's a race among governments to reverse engineer alien technology. And the first country that cracks the code will be the leader for years to come, like the atomic bomb development. This is a directional debut for Dan Farah. He's previously worked on the science fiction film Ready Player One. I've not seen that, but it's directed by Steven Spielberg, and I know he works closely with Spielberg. The Shannara Chronicles, not heard of that one. It's a fantasy drama television series. And Spencer Averick is an American. He works and was the film's editor, right? Again, screening at the South by Southwest back on the 9th of March. I thought this would come. I thought this would come sooner because everyone was expecting it out in a couple of months. There was some kind of trouble. There was some kind of hoo-ha, some kind of like controversy that that broke out as a result of this. And I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know the details. No one really knows. But there was some kind of legal challenge of some kind, and all that got out of was rumors, which delayed the release. But anyway, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read the reviews again. I don't read reviews until I've seen it. This has been shown to some selected members of the press, critics, along with that particular screening. When you go to Wikipedia, it says here there's an above majestic, which is like when it says to see also, you have the disclosure movement and above majestic. Now I have seen above majestic. That was actually, it was actually one of these films that unfortunately did come across as rather cliche. And I thought it was, I did think it was a little bit, no, I wouldn't say silly, but it's just stuff you've seen before, you know. And you know that Greer is going to, what's going to happen is I know for a fact that Greer is going to spit his dummy out over this, over at the age of disclosure. And he's going to do it because he thinks Elizondo is a shill. And, well, lots of people think Elizondo is a shill. I mean, he's red meat for the backslappers, let's face it. Former intelligence officer, now speaking out, won't say things people want him to say. The backslappers just, they salivate at the very mention of his name. But Greer, I think Greer is not actually a backslapper. I think that the reason Greer doesn't like Elizondo and many, many other people in this place, he's even turned against Leslie Kean, who's one of the most squared away individuals you could possibly imagine in this whole movement. The problem Greer has is he can't stand the fact that disclosure is not all about him. For him, it is just all. It's all. He's the big I am of the UFO disclosure movement, and everything has to center around him. He's the god and the king and the everything and the leader of this entire movement. And everyone else has to bow down and worship him and suck on his muscles and things like that. You know, that's why he doesn't like Elizondo. That's why he doesn't like all these people who threaten him and challenge his status. And he's got to get out of his own arse, basically. Let's have a look at the IMDb page. And here we have the people. See, these names will all be familiar. Tim Burchett, Andre Carson, James Clapper. Now he's former CIA. It'd be interesting to see what he has to say because he has commented on UFOs before. But he's a former CIA head of the CIA, Clapper, and he's been in a few of these. He's been in a few of American Deep State. Blimey, not seen that. Eric Davis, of course, Elizondo, Brett Federson, I don't know. Kirsten Gillibrand, Anna Paulina Luna, Chris Mellon, Carl Nell. Oh, Carl Nell was the guy who was one of the guys. That was one of the people I saw, and I know him. And I couldn't think of his name. He's the guy who said, "Yep, it's all 100." He said, "Well, you know, how sure are you that we're being visited by aliens?" And he said, 100%. Hal Puthoff, Mike Rounds. I think that's the guy I saw, and I couldn't recognize him. And I'd seen him before. Where was he? He's actually the. I think he's the House Majority Leader. He's got a very crucial role in this movement. He's got a very crucial role in the legislature, in the federal legislature. I think it's House Majority Leader or House Minority Leader. or Senate minority or Senate leader. I don't know whichever one it is. He's got a decisive role in this entire issue here. Chris Mellon, of course, you've got to have him. He's been in loads of things. That's not Chris Mellon there, but that's Investigating the Unknown. He's been in that as well. Marco Rubio, of course, who is U.S. Secretary of State. Jim Semivan, who is, of course, the son of Jim Holvan. You've done that stupid joke before, Ben. I know. And, of course, Jay Stratton is, again, someone I thought I know who he is. And what's his name? What's his name? Yeah. And again, these are the people involved. Andrew Farah, executive producer. Dan Farah, this is the director. And he's got quite a big... he's got quite a big page here. As you see, his IMDb goes back quite a long way. And he's worked closely with Steven Spielberg. And I think that's quite significant. I think it's actually quite significant that that Spielberg is currently working on his own project, this thing he's done with David Cope. He's co-written it with David Cope, and he's directed this new movie, which still doesn't have a title, which is, it's just, I know Bryce Zabel disagreed with me on this. And he's the one who knows about Hollywood. He's the Hollywood insider. And he said, don't read too much into this. But I've never known a time when you have a movie that comes out, and before it's still even in pre-production, you have a release date. And then they have a huge amount of publicity surrounding its production, photographs. The media is invited to watch the shooting, the location shoots. There's a whole load of talked about it. It doesn't even have a bloody title. They haven't even told us what the working title is. And then when it wraps, there's another big press conference and another big media release when it wraps. And they're saying, we're editing it. It's going to be out on this particular date. And I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, I've never seen this before. Normally, you don't hear anything. You hear there may be a few mentions of upcoming film that's coming out. It's like I mentioned before, Denis Villeneuve's. He's making the film at the moment of an adaptation of Rendezvous with Rama, as I mentioned in my previous video about Three Eye Atlas. And I said that's amazing. The film's never been made before, and now it's being made. But you don't have loads and loads of photographs of the scenes. You don't have loads and loads of interviews with this person's in it, that person's in it, etc., etc. You don't get that. I mean, funny enough, there's actually a news story that came out today about filming. Here we go. There's a whole part of this. The whole part of this county is currently off limits. Here we go. I saw this. This actually just popped up on my mobile phone, actually. A very useful thing. Filming near the Soho farmhouse to shut roads, Oxford Mail. Here we go. Filming in Oxford. So this is, they've actually shut some roads here. They've got permission to shut roads. Filming production will take later this month that will shut roads in an Oxfordshire village. The filming will be undertaken from November the 23rd, which is next week. And the village of Great Chew. If this will actually scroll down, this page is infested with ads. That's the problem. But anyway, it's not actually. It doesn't actually say which film it is and anything like that, or who's making it. It just says there's going to be a filming. That's all it says. So you kind of see the difference, don't you? Yeah. So that's all I can really say about this now, except we'll come back and do. I'll come back and do a review. So I'll watch it as soon as I can, come back and do a review, and then we'll do the live stream about it when you guys have seen it. Now, this is the annoying thing. It's not annoying, really, because I'm looking forward to it, but it's due for release on Friday. It's going to go on to Amazon Prime, probably for just a couple of pounds. It probably won't cost as much as one of Greer's. And then that is the day I go to, Lapis. So I won't be able to watch it till I get back, and I won't be back until Monday evening. So what I'll do is I'll watch it then. All right. And by then, a lot of you will have seen it. No spoilers, please, if you have. So this is going to be my last video, most likely now, until next week. So because, as I said, I'm going to be away from Wednesday onwards. So have a lovely weekend, everyone. Have fun. Enjoy it. It's a chance to catch up on some of my old uploads if you haven't seen them, or some of my old live streams. In the meantime, I'll let you know when I get back to. Obviously, there's going to be a reportage of the Lapis conference like there was last time, and that'll be there too. So we've got a lot coming up on HPANWO TV. Thank you for watching HPANWO TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.